Black Lives Matter? I wish. Black lives only seem to matter when a white cop is involved. Black lives, of course, matter, but the ideology of the Black Lives Matter movement is sick, and it's all turned into a great big money-making scam. And of course, money always matters, always will matter, always has mattered. So where does that leave us? It leaves us with a culture, a society that is sick, in part because of the overcorrection, the overreaction to the horrible thing that happened to George Floyd. Now, what happened to George Floyd was wrong, but what's happened ever since is almost worse. The total perversion of our culture and the demonization of cops, and now the demonization of white people in general. A new documentary from Showtime. I can't believe that corporate America, a major company, Viacom, sanctioned this, put it together. Take a look, because white people are the problem, don't you know?
I think what annoys me most about white people is when they pretend like they're the victim. What's also annoying is when they, when they kill us.
So it's full of hate and also full of lies. Now, this person, who I'll come to later, a college-educated woman, has virtually nothing to fear from police. All that has been overblown to the point of total dishonesty. There's more.
What is fragile about whiteness when everything has been constructed around it?
Every part of who I am has been distorted or criminalized.
It's really just a bunch of white lies.
We're storming the Capitol! You're not patriots. You're ridiculous.
One of the definitions of American whiteness is ignorance.
Now, I know they bash Trump supporters all the time. I'm used to that. But what did she looks like a nice person. One of the characteristics of whiteness is ignorance. Wow. There's more.
It's about obliterating systemic and institutionalized racism.
This is a wild place, y'all. It's a wild place. I know Harriet and Frederick be up there just like, what is they gonna do?
All right, February 11th, you're gonna watch this. Everything's gonna be all white, full of hate, full of lies. And you saw Amanda Seals there in the pink sweater. Let's talk about her for a moment. She's quite the character there. I want to show you her resume. She went to the State University of New York at Purchase, a very prestigious program, has a graduate degree from Columbia University, yet she sits there, and what did she say? Let's put that up. How did she break it down? This is a wild place, y'all. It's a wild place. I know Harriet and Frederick be up there just like, what is they gonna do? Okay, with her graduate degree from Columbia University, this is the way she talks. It's a power play. She knows how to talk, but she talks this way. I guess it's Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass. Who knows? How did this get made? And why did it get made? Well, a couple of things. The executives behind the documentary want to maintain their power, and I'd like to show you them. Notice anything? They are all white people. Interesting, just about, I think. I don't see any African Americans there. And Showtime, by the way, is a network traditionally favored by white people. Take a look at these shows. Sometimes I've heard people of color make fun of white people for enjoying some of these programs. But after George Floyd, everybody went crazy woke. Everybody from Ritz Cracker to Showtime put out statements like this. Black stories matter, black ideas matter, yes, all that stuff, we stand with you. Showtime, I really wanted a message like this from a cable TV station. We got one. Everybody went crazy. Everybody, and overnight, it happened. The world did change.
Also put together a Center for Racial Equity and funded it with $100 million, which will help some.
This means taking action. 2 weeks ago, we announced Apple's Racial Equity and Justice Initiative with a commitment of $100 million.
Apple, Walmart, and many more. 2 weeks to figure out where you're going to put $100 million. That's overnight. okay? It takes a long time normally, but overnight. And they overreacted. They moved too fast. Take a look at this. Corporations all over the place. Amazon, with the messaging and the millions of dollars. Intel, the computer chip maker, throwing money at this. Ritz Cracker, I mentioned them again. Ritz Cracker, yes, coming together because Black Lives Matter. There's a $500,000. And the money actually was much more than just this. We mentioned Apple. Take a look. $100 million. Google, $12 million just for starters. General Motors, $10 million. Again, that was just for starters. Facebook, $100 million. Now, all that money flowing around can buy a lot of stuff, and they spent it really, really fast. Has anything changed? Has the climate improved over the past 2 years and all this money? No. But some people from Black Lives Matter got a lot richer, and they went on a shopping spree, as you know by now, several media reports. Not widespread media reports, but this actually happened, that key leaders in the Black Lives Matter movement went on a real estate shopping spree, bought just about everything in sight, caused a lot of problems internally, and it's not over. The wife of one of the BLM founders just bought a mansion in Canada for many millions of dollars. Now, a lot of folks in the media are reluctant to ask questions about this. Just don't want to go there because they've literally redefined racism, okay? Racism has been redefined. Take a look. Racism is now the marginalization or oppression of people of color based on a socially constructed racial hierarchy that privileges white people. A lot of white people, especially white liberals, are, we can't say anything right now because we're part of the problem. Now, that's their problem. And quite frankly, liberal people of color, when they start talking like this, people run and tend to give them anything they want.
As a Black woman, I think I'm growing tired of saying, we told you so. And I find no joy in saying that.
As a Black man, I see the world through Black eyes, and it's this Blackness that shapes my perspective.
As a Black woman, it always feels incumbent upon us to take the high road.
As a Black person in America, you have to sort of find humor in race or else you go crazy.
As a Black woman, I'm so tired. I'm going to teach my kids when if I ever have kids to love themselves.
As a Black man in America, you're going to have to fight to be successful. You're going to have to fight against racism. Every day while you're breathing here on this earth, that is the cross that you have to bear.
Maybe this is why everybody seems to be at each other's throats, why there's so much tension in the air. And so many folks have just capitulated, lost leave of their senses. Why the hell is Coca-Cola, the company that makes poison, by the way, weighing in on the Georgia election law?
Let me be crystal clear and unequivocal. This legislation is unacceptable. It is a step backwards, and it does not promote principles we have stood for in Georgia.
Crystal clear, and this guy makes Coke. Talk about something that's victimized people of color. Yeah, you can look it up. Some folks have pushed back from communities of color against their poison. Just because they're crazy doesn't mean we have to be.